Have you ever felt tired of depending on others to feel better? Do you wonder why it is so hard to heal from inside? Have you noticed how a simple word from someone can hurt you for days, but no one can truly fix it except you? Once, there was a man who felt broken every night. He would wait for friends to call, for family to comfort him, for someone to say, "You matter." But that call never came. He felt lost until one morning he decided to sit quietly by himself, to breathe slowly, and to listen to the beating of his own heart. In that silence, he felt a tiny spark of strength that he had forgotten existed. Welcome to Wisdom Woven, a place where we learn together to find strength and peace within ourselves. Here, we walk a path inspired by the wisdom of the Buddha, a path that guides us to heal ourselves, to rise from pain, and to stand strong even when no one is beside us. If this video touches your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. There's so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribes. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. It takes only a second for you, but it can help this channel reach more people who need this wisdom. Will you do it? The Buddha taught that every person has a light within, a quiet space deep inside where healing can happen. In that space, no one can hurt you, no one can break you, because it is yours and yours alone. True healing doesn't come from words others speak or hands others hold. It comes from knowing ourselves, accepting ourselves, and nurturing ourselves. He reminded people that life is like a river. It moves, it changes, it carries pain and joy alike. To heal ourselves is to accept that flow, to stop fighting it, and to find a quiet spot within ourselves from which to watch it. This series will walk with you, step by step, teaching you how to heal, how to find strength when you feel empty, how to rise when life tries to bury you. Stay with this journey, and you will see how much strength you have always carried within. In the end, you will understand that the best healer you will ever have is yourself. Have you ever felt your heart beating faster when you were afraid? Have you noticed how your shoulders ache when you worry too much? The mind and the body are not two strangers living apart. They're like two friends who walk hand in hand every moment. What you think, your body feels. What your body feels, your mind remembers. A long time ago, the Buddha spoke of this. He said that the body and the mind arise together and fall away together. They are connected like a tree and its roots. You cannot heal one if you forget the other. To understand this is to understand why you sometimes feel tired when your thoughts are tired, or why your heart feels heavy when your body is still. Imagine a person carrying a huge bag of stones every day. At first, he can walk, but after some hours, he feels pain in his shoulders. Even if he rests, the pain doesn't go until the bag is put down. In the same way, when we carry anger, hate, or worry in the mind, the body feels the weight. The muscles ache, the breath becomes short, and the head feels like a storm is living inside. This is the bond between the mind and the body. The Buddha said that all things arise from conditions. When the mind is troubled, the body will follow. When the body is weakened, the mind can also fall into darkness. But if we can understand this link, we can find a path to heal ourselves. We can learn to watch the mind and body like a kind parent watching a child, always aware, always patient. Have you noticed how your breath changes when you are afraid? It becomes quick and shallow. Or when you are sad, the breath becomes long and heavy. The breath is a bridge between the body and the mind. The breath is like a messenger telling the mind how the body feels and telling the body how the mind feels. To heal ourselves, we can start with this bridge. We can watch the breath, and as we watch, the breath becomes calm. When the breath becomes calm, the heart becomes quiet. When the heart becomes quiet, the thoughts also rest. This is why monks spend long hours in silence, watching their breathing. Not because breathing is special, but because breathing is the door to understanding the whole being. The Buddha said, "He who knows breathing knows the path to wisdom." Even in moments of pain, you can return to the breath. Let it guide you. Let it carry you from a place of turmoil to a place of peace. But understanding the mind-body link is more than breathing. It is also about noticing how emotions live in the body. Anger tightens the chest. Fear makes the stomach sink. Sadness makes the throat ache. These are the whispers of the body, trying to tell the mind, please notice. We carry this too. The Zen teacher would ask a student, where in your body do you feel this anger? At first, this may seem strange, but when the student looks, he finds that anger has a place, a shape, a weight. This is how the body speaks the language of the mind. Once a monk was very ill. The doctor gave him bitter herbs. The monk drank it every morning, but he noticed that when he drank it with anger or resistance, the body felt weaker. When he drank it with acceptance and gratitude, the body responded better. The medicine didn't change, but the mind changed the way the body received it. This is the mind-body link. This is how one can help the other. In moments when you feel lost, the easiest thing is to forget your body, to forget its needs, to forget its language. But the body never forgets. It will always tell its story, sometimes in a whisper, sometimes in a scream. Listen to it. Honor it. Treat it as a teacher, not as an enemy. Let the body teach you about the nature of suffering and about the nature of peace. The Buddha spoke of 4 foundations of mindfulness. The first is mindfulness of the body, noticing breathing, noticing movement, noticing stillness. The second is mindfulness of feelings, noticing pain, noticing joy. The third is mindfulness of thoughts, understanding that thoughts come and go like wind through a forest. The fourth is mindfulness of the truth of life itself, accepting that all things arise and all things fade. To understand the body is to walk into the heart of these truths. Have you watched a child when it is frightened? The child clenches its tiny hands. Its body becomes tight like a spring. The fear of the mind has taken root in the body. In moments like this, the wise parent kneels down, embraces the child, and speaks soft words. In this warmth, the body relaxes and the fear becomes smaller. We could be like that parent to ourselves. We can notice when the body is tight with worry, when the breath is short, when the hands or jaw are clenched. We can respond with kindness. We can say to ourselves, I am here. It is okay. Let's breathe. The ancient monks practiced walking meditation, not for exercise, but for remembrance. Each step became a prayer. The heel touches the earth. The body feels the ground rise to meet it. The breath and the step move together like a dance. In that moment, the mind is no longer lost in thoughts. The body guides it back. Together, body and mind walk as one. Together, they find peace. Even in moments of pain or sickness, the link between body and mind can be a source of strength. The Buddha spoke to a sick man, saying, though the body may be sick, the mind can remain well. The body can ache, yet the heart can remain open. The body can stumble, yet the mind can remain steady. The body can bear its wounds, and the mind can bear its wisdom. To heal ourselves is to honor this link, to treat the body with care, knowing it is the temple where the heart rests. To treat the mind with kindness, knowing it guides the body. The more we respect this bond, the more peace we find within ourselves. The more we accept that the body and the mind rise and fall together, the more we can walk this path with grace. Each moment of awareness becomes a seed that, when tended, can grow into a strong and quiet tree. The breath, the beating heart, the warmth of the hand upon the chest, these are not separate things. They are threads of the same cloth. To understand this is to understand ourselves. To accept this is to accept life itself. So when you walk knowing the ground holds you. When you breathe knowing the air embraces you. When you rest knowing the body and the mind can find stillness together. In this knowing, in this quiet bond, you will find a strength that does not break easily. You will find a peace that does not belong to words, but to the silence between them. This is the way of understanding the body and the mind. This is the way of healing ourselves moment by moment, breath by breath, step by step. Not in a rush, not with force, but with kindness. Not with judgment, but with trust. The body and the mind are friends upon this path. Let them walk together. Let them rest together. Let them awaken together, embracing solitude as a healing space. Have you ever noticed how noisy the world has become? People walk with phones pressed to their ears, music playing, thoughts racing. It is as if silence has become a stranger, a guest we rarely invite into our lives. Yet in that silence, a deep and quiet strength can be found. A strength that can heal wounds no words can reach. A Zen master once spoke to a group of disciples about the power of being alone. He said, "The tree that grows strong stands by itself for long hours every day. It allows the wind to whisper through its branches. It allows the rains to wash its leaves. It doesn't beg the forest for help. It simply stands rooted in its own space, growing deeper and reaching higher." Humans are like that tree. But unlike the tree, humans forget that being alone doesn't mean being abandoned. Being alone can mean being closer to yourself, closer to the earth, closer to the truth within. One evening, a young monk came to the Zen Master and said, "Master, I am afraid to be alone. My thoughts overwhelm me when I have no one to speak to. I feel lost when the room is quiet." The Zen Master smiled gently and replied, "That is because you have never learned to listen to silence. Silence is like a mirror. It shows you who you really are. If you fear being alone, it is because you fear the person you will meet in that silence." The young monk felt a sting in those words, but he knew it was true. So the Zen Master gave him a practice. "Go to the edge of the forest every morning," he said. "Sit under a tree. Stay with yourself for as long as you can. Watch the leaves move. Listen to the wind. Feel the earth holding you. Do not try to fill the space with words or thoughts. Just be there. Let the silence teach you." Each morning, the young monk came and sat. At first, his mind was like a storm. It shouted memories, fears, and worries. He felt the urge to run away, to seek the comfort of people and sound. But he remembered the Zen Master's words, and he stayed. With each passing day, the storm within him began to settle. He noticed how the air felt cooler in the morning mist. He noticed the sound of a bird perched high above. He noticed the beating of his own heart. Through these moments of noticing, silence stopped being an enemy and started becoming a teacher. After many weeks, the young monk felt a change inside. He felt rooted, like the tree he watched every morning. He felt strong, like the earth that held him. He felt connected to himself in a way he had never felt before. He felt a warmth rising from deep within, a warmth that no one had given him, a warmth that was always there. The Zen Master smiled when the young monk spoke of this. He said, "That warmth is your own light. That strength is your own root. That silence is the space where you can meet yourself every day." Then he added, "To heal yourself, you must first learn to be with yourself, to accept your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own fears, to sit with them, to acknowledge them, and to allow them to dissolve like mist in the morning sun. This is what it means to embrace solitude. It is not a punishment. It is a gift. It is a space where your heart can rest and your mind can slow down. It is a space where you can remember that you are whole, even when you stand alone. People often try to fill every moment with noise, hoping it will bury the ache inside. But the ache doesn't disappear. It waits quietly until the noise fades, until the room becomes still, until silence finds its voice. Then it whispers to you. It tells you where it hurts. It tells you why it hurts. It tells you how to care for it. The Zen Master often said, "A quiet room can teach more than 1,000 words. A moment of stillness can heal more than a lifetime of running." He encouraged his disciples to create spaces of silence in their daily lives. Even if it is for a few moments, every morning, find a quiet space. Sit down. Let the thoughts come. Let the feelings rise. Let the heart speak. And listen. Just listen. Listening to yourself is a rare practice. Most people listen to others, to the noise of the world, to the demands of society. But when you listen inward, you can hear the soft voice that knows the way. You can find a quiet strength that never left you. You can remember that you are more than your thoughts, more than your pain. Through silence, you can witness the passing of thoughts like leaves falling from a tree. Through silence, you can watch feelings rise and fade like morning mist. Through silence, you can rest as the person you truly are, not as the person the world tells you to be. The Zen Master would say, the person who can sit quietly with themselves is never truly lost. They carry a lamp within that can illuminate the darkest path. That lamp is the flame of understanding, the warmth of self-compassion, the light of belonging. It shines only when we learn to rest in silence. So, as you walk this path of healing, remember this teaching. Do not run from being alone. Walk toward it. Sit within it. Trust that silence is not an empty space, but a sacred space where the heart can speak and the mind can rest. Each moment you spend in silence is like planting a seed. Each breath you take consciously is like giving water to that seed. Each thought you acknowledge without judgment is like allowing sunlight to touch its leaves. Slowly, quietly, that seed will grow within you until one day it becomes a strong and beautiful tree, a tree that can stand tall, no matter how strong the wind may blow. The Zen Master would end his teaching with this reminder. The world may forget you. People may walk away. The noise may surround you every day. But if you can create a space within where silence lives, where peace rests, you will never be truly lost. You will always have a home within your own heart. Through silence, you heal. Through silence, you remember. Through silence, you return to yourself. The art of letting go and making peace. A Zen master once said, if you hold on too tight, your hands will hurt. It is like trying to hold water in a clenched fist. The more you grip, the more it slips away. This is the nature of life. This is why the practice of letting go is called an art, because it is delicate, gentle, and done with a quiet heart. To walk the path of letting go, one must first understand why the heart holds on. People cling to moments long gone. People cling to anger that burns like a flame. People cling to memories that have lost their warmth. Each thing we cling to is like a stone added to the weight we carry. A man came to the Zen Master one morning. He was tired, with dark circles under his eyes. He said, Master, I am broken. Someone I trusted hurt me long ago, and still I carry the pain every day. Will this ever end? The Zen Master smiled and gave the man a small stone. Hold it in your hand, he said. The man held it tight. Does this hurt? The Master asked. Not right now, the man replied. Then keep holding it, said the Master. Time passed. The man held it longer, and soon his hand shook. What about now? Asked the Master. It hurts, said the man. Then why don't you let it go? The Master replied. The lesson was simple. What we carry can only hurt us for as long as we refuse to put it down. The person who caused pain long ago may be far away now. The event may have passed like a shadow across the grass. But if we still carry it, we give it life every day. We feed it. We let it walk beside us, whispering in our ear. We make ourselves a prisoner to the past. In the teaching of the Buddha, this is called clinging. He spoke of how people cling to ideas, memories, people, and things as if their happiness depend upon holding tight. But the truth is different. Happiness grows when the hand can open. Peace arrives when the heart can rest. Imagine standing by a river. Leaves fall from a tree and land upon the water. Each leaf spins and spins, then drifts away. The river does not try to hold the leaves. The river does not try to carry them forever. It allows each leaf to land, to spin, and to move on. The river stays still within, even as it moves. This is how the heart can be. What hurts can land upon it, rest upon it for a moment, and then move on. The heart doesn't have to keep every leaf, every sting, every harsh word. The heart can learn to be like the river. Open, calm, willing to witness, willing to release. A young woman came to the Zen Master. She said, I am haunted by a mistake I made 10 years ago. Will I ever forget it? The Zen Master shook his head. You do not need to forget, he said. You only need to stop feeding it. You only need to stop holding its hand every morning when you rise and every night when you rest. Let the mistake be like a bird. Let it fly across the sky. You can notice it. You can watch it. But you do not have to invite it to live in your house. The heart can be a place of peace when it learns to witness and to accept. Accept that things have happened. Accept that wounds have been felt. Accept that the past has shaped a part of who you are. But accept also that the past has no hands to hold you unless you give it those hands. Accept that it can rest quietly like a stone in a garden. Not thrown, not used to build a wall, just resting. It can be there, but it can no longer define the whole garden. The Buddha said, "You are not what happened to you. You are how you carry it." To let go is to stop making an altar for pain. To make peace is to invite silence where noise once lived. To heal is to give yourself permission to walk a new path. Imagine planting a garden. Each thought you carry is like a seed. If you water seeds of anger every day, anger will fill your garden. If you water seeds of guilt every morning, guilt will grow tall and strong. If you water seeds of peace and kindness every day, those will grow too. What you nurture is what you live with. What you feed is what you become. The Zen Master reminds those who listen, the mind is like a garden. Do not give space to weeds that no longer serve you. Do not carry stones that can be set down. To release is not to forget. To release is to accept. To accept that life has both rains and sun. That moments of pain can be honored and then allowed to drift away. That moments of loss can teach and then become whispers upon the wind. That moments of betrayal can teach strength and discernment, and then dissolve like mist upon the morning air. Each night, as you rest, ask yourself, what am I still holding? Notice how it feels upon your heart. Notice if it clenches your chest. Notice if it tightens your breath. Then ask yourself, what am I gaining by carrying this? If it gives you nothing but pain, if it takes and takes from you, perhaps it is time to set it down. Imagine putting it upon the earth, letting the earth accept it, letting the wind carry it away, letting the space within you fill with stillness. Each morning, rise and ask yourself, what can I nurture today? Will it be kindness? Will it be patience? Will it be understanding? Will it be the quiet strength that comes from knowing that life is a flow and that you can move with it? Will it be peace? Will it be a heart that can witness without being pulled? Will it be the soft whisper that says, I am here, I am whole, I am enough? To live like this is the heart of the Zen path. To walk with lightness upon the earth. To remember that we have this one breath, this one moment, this one chance to stand with ourselves in kindness and quiet strength. Trust this truth, for it has been spoken by many masters across countless moments. Trust that to release is not to lose, but to gain. Trust that making peace is not giving up, but rising up. Trust that when the heart chooses to rest upon stillness, it finds its way home. Each person can walk this path. Each person can come to the edge of the river and release the leaves they have held too long. Each person can stand upon the shore and watch those leaves drift away, knowing that life goes on, and so can we. Each person can learn to say, I am here, I am whole. I can walk this path, carrying only what allows me to walk gently and with grace. The Zen Master, looking upon the rising sun, reminds the world quietly. To let go is to live. To make peace is to rest. To accept is to open a door to the heart. And when that door is open, life can come and go like the wind, and still within, there will always be a space for quiet, for kindness, for belonging. This is the teaching of letting go. It is an art. It is a path. It is a practice. It is a gift one gives to oneself, every moment, every breath, every step upon the earth. Have you ever watched the wind move through a garden? Have you noticed how the leaves dance when the wind arrives and how they rest when it goes? This is how the breath is. The breath arrives, the breath goes, and it can teach you how to rest, how to heal. The Zen Master often reminds the seeker, the breath is like a bridge. It connects the body and the heart and the mind and the world. He tells this to every person who comes to him. For the breath is the first teacher we have. It arrives with us when we are born, and it leaves when we die. All the moments between these moments can be changed by knowing the breath. Most people forget this. They walk, they run, they work, they worry, and they forget to notice their breathing. The breath becomes short, shallow, and tense. Then the heart becomes tense, the mind becomes tense, and the body becomes tense too. Have you ever felt this? Have you noticed how tight your chest feels when you are worried? Have you felt how shallow your breath becomes when you are afraid? This is how we forget ourselves. The Zen Master says, stop for a moment. Just one moment. Put a hand on your heart and feel the breath come and go. Let the breath wash through you like a wave. Let it carry away the tension. Let it carry in a soft, quiet strength. He reminds people that the breath needs no cost, no effort, no equipment. It needs only awareness. He tells a simple story. One day, a student came to him and said, "Master, my heart is very heavy. My thoughts race like a wild horse. What can I do?" The Zen Master smiled and said, "Breathe, not like a racehorse, not like a storm. Breathe like a quiet lake." The student was surprised. "That is all? Just breathe?" The Master said, "Yes. All you must do is watch the breath. Do not try to hold it. Do not try to force it. Just watch it come and watch it go. Let it teach you. Let it slow you down. Let it heal you from within." At first, the student felt it was too simple. But he tried. He sat every morning by the river. He watched the mist rise from the water. He felt the breath rise and fall in his chest. With each breath, a thought would come and he would watch it. With each breath out, he would let it go. He felt like a man brushing dust from an old statue. Each breath, a stroke of the cloth. Each breath, a moment closer to seeing the statue as it truly was. In time, the student returned to the Master. "Master," he said, "I am no longer afraid of my thoughts. They come and go like the mist. The breath has taught me to be soft with myself, to accept myself, to heal myself. I'm no longer a prisoner of my thoughts." The Master smiled and said, "This is the gift of breath. This is the gift of meditation. It is not a technique. It is a way of being. It is a way of remembering who you really are." The Zen Master reminds every seeker. Each breath is a chance to start again. Each breath is a moment where you can lay down anger, tension, or grief. You do not have to wait for someone to save you. You can save yourself breath by breath, moment by moment. He teaches that when we breathe consciously, we create space inside ourselves. In that space, feelings can arise, be seen, be felt, and be released. We can watch anger come and dissolve. We can watch fear rise and settle like dust. We can watch sadness wash over us like a wave and then return to the ocean. Each breath gives us a chance to witness ourselves. Each breath gives us the strength to walk through pain and arrive on the other side. The Zen Master tells this to those who have suffered deeply. He tells this to those who have lost loved ones. He tells this to those who have felt broken. Breathing is not just breathing, he says. It is planting a seed, the seed of silence, the seed of strength, the seed of knowing that this moment is enough. He shows a seeker how to sit. Rest your body. Let it sink into the earth. Let your spine rise like a strong tree. Let your hands rest gently in your lap. Let your shoulders drop, your jaw relax. Let your breath be as soft as a whisper. Let your breath move like a slow river. Do not rush. Do not force. Let it happen. Let it teach you. And when the seeker asks, "How long must I do this?" the Master replies, "As long as you have breath. As long as you walk this earth. Let every breath be a teacher. Let every breath be a reminder that you can come home to yourself at any moment." He reminds them that this practice can be done anywhere. In a crowded bus, watch the breath rise and fall. In a quiet room, listen to its sound. While cooking, working, resting, or walking, the breath is always there. A faithful companion, a witness, a guide. Through this simple practice, countless seekers have found their way from pain to peace. Through breath, anger has softened. Through breath, fear has lost its grip. Through breath, heartbreak has started to heal. Through breath, the lost have found themselves again. The Zen Master says, trust your breath. It has been with you from the first moment you came into this world, and it will walk with you until the very end. Do not forget it. Do not turn away from it. Let it carry you, comfort you, guide you, and teach you. He reminds every seeker, every listener, every person with a beating heart that no matter where life has taken them, no matter how deep the wounds, no matter how long the nights have been, the breath is always there, always ready, always soft, always strong. Through breath and meditation, the broken pieces can come together. Through breath and meditation, the heart can rest. Through breath and meditation, a person can stand tall like a mountain. Through breath and meditation, one can walk through life with open eyes and a quiet smile. The Zen Master says, trust this. Try this. Do this every morning when you rise, every night before you sleep, every moment when you remember. Let the breath be your teacher, your doctor, your prayer, and your song. Let the breath be the hand that guides you from darkness to light. Through this path, the seeker can find a deep, quiet knowing within. Through this path, the seeker can understand that healing is not a race. It is not a struggle. It is a surrender to this breath, a surrender to this moment, a surrender to the truth that all things arise and pass, a surrender to life itself. Through this path, the seeker can find peace, not by looking far away, not by relying on others, but by looking inward, by resting with the breath that is always present. Through this path, one can heal from within. Through this path, one can walk with strength, clarity, and grace. Through this path, one can become their own refuge, their own healer, their own light. Through this path, one can remember that no matter how dark the night, the breath can always carry them to the morning. The wisdom of Buddhist compassion toward yourself. Have you ever felt that you can be very kind to others, but when it comes to yourself, you forget? Do you notice how easily you can forgive a friend, yet when you make a mistake, you carry guilt like a heavy stone in your heart? This is where the wisdom of Buddhist compassion can help. The Zen Master spoke slowly, as if sharing a secret that the heart can understand. He said that compassion is not only for others. It must first be for yourself. In the teaching of the Buddha, one truth shines like a lamp in the darkness. You too deserve kindness. You too deserve to be embraced with warmth and understanding. The Master spoke of a tree deep in the forest. Its branches gave shade to the animals. Its fruit gave sweetness to many. Its leaves gave breath to countless beings. Yet, he said, the tree can only give to others because it is rooted deeply in the earth, because it draws water and strength for itself first. So too must we understand ourselves. We must root ourselves deeply in kindness, or we will have nothing to give. He spoke about a man he met long ago. The man worked hard every day, cared for his family, gave money to friends, and offered help to strangers. But when he was alone, this man spoke words of anger to himself. I am worthless, he said. I am never enough. The Zen Master said, he gave light to others, but he lived in darkness within. This is the way of many people. Why is it so hard to be kind to ourselves? The Master asked. We treat ourselves as if we must be punished for every mistake. We carry guilt for years. We forget that the heart can grow stronger when it is tended with compassion. The Master smiled and said, think of a small bird that has fallen from its nest. You would pick it up gently. You would warm it with your hands. You would try to save its life. What if you treated your own heart like that bird? What if when you felt pain, anger, or guilt, you held it gently instead of beating yourself down? He spoke of the words of the Buddha. If you truly knew how deeply your thoughts affect your heart, you would never speak a word of hate to yourself or another. In this way, Buddhist compassion is not only about being kind to others. It is also about being a friend to yourself, being patient when you stumble, being gentle when you hurt. He gave an example of a farmer planting rice. The farmer knows that not every seed will sprout, and that not every crop will bear fruit. Yet, the farmer doesn't curse the soil or the seed. He tends to it. He gives it water and sun, knowing that life takes time. So too must you treat your heart. Do not curse it when it feels heavy. Do not scold it when it feels lost. Tend to it. Care for it. Let it rest. Let it drink from the well of kindness. The Zen Master spoke about guilt, a visitor that arrives often. Guilt can be a teacher, he said, but it must never be a prison. Let it guide you to understand, not to destroy. Let it whisper to you, not shout at you. In the Buddhist way, guilt is like a bird that arrives in the garden. You can acknowledge its song, watch it as it rests, and then watch as it flies away. Do not cage it. Do not feed it every day. He spoke too about anger, especially anger toward ourselves. If you have anger for another person, you can walk away, you can create space. But when you have anger for yourself, you carry it wherever you go. It burns within like a flame that never rests. The Zen Master said, blow out that flame with breath, with silence, with a hand upon your own heart. Anger can teach you where you must be gentle. He gave an example of a small stream. The stream can be blocked by fallen branches and dried leaves. Yet when a soft rain comes, the stream finds a new path, a new way to move. The stream doesn't fight, doesn't force, doesn't curse the obstacles. It simply finds its way. In this same way, when you stumble upon guilt or anger or pain, you too can find a new path. You too can flow around it with compassion. The Master said, remember, you are like that stream. You can find ways to move around the pain. You can accept that it is there and still continue to move forward. You can be the stream that whispers to itself, it is all right. I can be soft. I can be strong. I can heal. He spoke about the breath as the bridge between pain and peace. Each breath you take is a gift, he said. Each breath can wash away a little of the hurt. When you feel ashamed, when you feel lost, when you feel that you have failed, place a hand upon your heart. Breathe in slowly, and imagine this breath is a wave upon the shore. Breathe out slowly, and imagine it is a wave carrying away a piece of that pain. Do this until you can feel space within, until the heart can rest. The Zen Master spoke of a woman he knew long ago. She carried a great weight of guilt for many years. Yet one morning, sitting beside a quiet lake, she felt a shift within. The lake was still, reflecting the skies, and in that reflection, she saw herself clearly. Not as a person defined by guilt, but as a person carrying a lesson, carrying a chance to grow. In that moment, she offered herself the words she had offered others many times. You can be forgiven. You can be whole. He said that to practice compassion for oneself is to stand upon the earth and acknowledge both its beauty and its scars. To stand upon that earth and say, here I am, with all that I've been and all that I am. And here I can learn to walk more gently, more wisely, more openly. Each morning, the Zen Master said, you can rise like the sun. The sun shines upon all things, upon the garden and upon the stone, upon the lotus and upon the thorn. So too can you learn to shine upon yourself, upon the moments you have fallen and upon the moments you have risen. This is the heart of Buddhist compassion, to accept that you are a human being, to accept that you deserve warmth, that you deserve understanding, that you deserve peace. He spoke of the wisdom taught by the Buddha, that all beings seek happiness, that all beings fear pain, and that this includes ourselves. To forget ourselves is to forget the teaching. To neglect ourselves is to forget the seed of kindness. To withhold compassion from ourselves is to forget the very heart of the path. The Master smiled one final time and said, walk upon this path with a gentle heart. Let it beat with understanding for yourself and for all living things. Let whisper when the world is too loud. Let it hold you when no one is near. Let it guide you to rest when you're tired. Let it be your teacher, your refuge, your lamp upon the road. Let it teach you that to heal yourself is to honor life itself. Sometimes, the greatest enemy we face is not outside of us. It is the fear inside us, the fear of what we see when we look within. This fear hides in our hearts like a shadow, and many people try to run away from it. But the truth is, the shadow is part of us. It holds our pain, our doubts, and our wounds. To heal, we must stop running. Instead, we must learn to face these shadows without fear. Imagine a dark room. At first, you want to close your eyes and never enter. But if you light a small candle, the room begins to change. The darkness becomes softer. You see shapes, but they are not scary anymore. This candle is like courage, like kindness toward yourself. When you face your inner shadows with courage, they lose their power to frighten you. The Buddha taught that suffering comes when we do not accept what is inside us. When we push away our fear, anger, or sadness, these feelings grow stronger, like a weed in a garden left untended. But when we turn to them gently, with care, they begin to shrink. They lose their grip on our mind and heart. One day, a student came to the Buddha with great fear in his eyes. He said, "Master, I feel dark thoughts inside me. I want to be free, but these shadows hold me tight. How can I live in peace if I carry this fear inside?" The Buddha smiled softly and said, "Do not run from the darkness. Light a lamp. Look deeply at your fears. Understand them as part of your path. When you do, you will see they are not your enemies, but your teachers." Facing your inner shadows means you do not judge yourself. It means you do not say, "I am bad because I feel anger," or "I am weak because I feel sadness." Instead, you say, "This is part of me. I will sit with it. I will listen." This listening is powerful. It heals because it honors your whole self, the light and the dark together. Think of your mind like the sky. Sometimes it is clear and bright, and sometimes it is cloudy and stormy. Both are natural. The storm clouds are your shadows, your fears, your doubts. If you try to push them away, the storm grows worse. But if you watch the clouds calmly, without fear, you will see that they pass and the blue sky remains. When you sit quietly and breathe deeply, you create a space inside yourself. In this space, your shadows can come out safely. You do not have to fight them. You do not have to be afraid. You simply watch and breathe. Slowly, your mind becomes peaceful. Your heart becomes lighter. It is important to remember that everyone has shadows. No one is perfect or without fear. The Buddha himself knew pain and doubt. He sat under the Bodhi tree, facing the darkness inside him for many days and nights. He did not run away. He faced his fears fully and found freedom. If he could do it, so can you. Sometimes the shadows inside you might whisper lies. They say, "You are not good enough," or "You will never be happy." These are not true. They are like clouds blocking the sun. When you face these thoughts with kindness, they lose their power. You can say to yourself, "I am enough. I am learning. I am growing." There are times when the shadows feel heavy and hard to carry. You might feel sad, angry, or lonely. It is okay to feel these things. They are part of being human. The Zen way is not to fight these feelings, but to let them be. Let them come and go like waves on the ocean. You do not need to stop the waves. You only need to learn how to float. One way to face your shadows is through meditation. Sit quietly. Close your eyes. Watch your breath. When thoughts come, do not push them away. Let them come like visitors. Say in your mind, "I see you. I hear you." This simple act of seeing and hearing your thoughts brings peace. It tells your mind that it is safe. Another way is to write down your feelings. Sometimes, shadows feel less scary when they come out on paper. You can write about your fears, your sadness, your anger. Then look at the words without judging them. You might see patterns or find new understanding. Writing can be a gentle friend in dark times. Remember, facing your shadows is not a one-time event. It is a journey, a path you walk every day. Some days are easier, some days are harder. But each step you take is a victory. Each time you choose courage over fear, you grow stronger. You might wonder, what if my shadows never go away? The answer is they do not need to go away. You do not need to be without shadows to be whole. Wholeness comes when you accept all parts of yourself, the light and the dark. When you stop fighting inside, you find peace. Think about a tree. Its roots grow deep into the dark earth. Without the dark soil, the tree cannot stand tall. Your shadows are like the soil for your spirit. They help you grow strong if you let them. When you face your fears, you feed your courage. When you accept your pain, you nourish your compassion. It is natural to want to hide your shadows from others, but hiding can make them grow bigger inside. Instead, learn to be gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself as you would to a dear friend who is scared and hurting. Say, "I am here for you. I will not leave you alone." If you ever feel overwhelmed, know that the Buddha's teachings offer many ways to calm a mind. Simple breathing, walking in nature, or repeating a peaceful phrase can help bring you back when the shadows seem too strong. One beautiful teaching says, "Just as a mother protects her only child with her life, so one should cultivate a boundless heart toward all beings." This includes yourself. You must be your own protector, your own healer. You must hold your own heart with love. Healing comes not from forgetting your shadows, but from knowing them deeply. When you meet your fear with open eyes and a kind heart, you take away its power to control you. You become free. The path of healing is like climbing a mountain. Sometimes the climb is steep and the wind is cold. But with every step, you see more clearly. You learn to trust your feet, your breath, your heart. And when you reach the top, the whole world looks different. So do not fear your shadows. Invite them gently to sit with you. Talk to them. Listen. In their silence, you will find wisdom. In their presence, you will find strength. You are not alone on this path. The Buddha, the Zen Masters, and many others have walked it before you. They understood the shadows and embraced them. Now, it is your turn. Face your inner shadows without fear. Let them teach you how to heal. Let them show you the way to peace. You have the light inside you, always waiting. The shadows only grow when you turn away. When you face them, the light shines brighter than ever. Trust in yourself. Be patient. Be kind. Your healing begins now. The healing role of gratitude and simplicity. Have you ever watched how the morning sun shines upon a single leaf, making it glow as if it holds a tiny piece of light? Have you noticed how a plain cup of water can feel like a gift when you're truly thirsty? Have you felt how quiet the world becomes when you notice the little things that you usually walk past every day? The Zen Master reminds the listener that this is the heart of healing. The heart that can be grateful for little things. The heart that can be satisfied with simplicity. The heart that can say, this breath is enough for now, and this moment is a gift, is the heart that finds strength from within. So many people walk through life looking for happiness far away. They run from one thing to another. They search for things to own, places to go, people to notice them. But inside, they still feel tired and lost. The Zen Master looks at this quietly and says, stop. Stay where you are. Put your hand on your heart. Listen. The sound of life itself is beating inside of you right now. Healing does not always come from fixing things. Sometimes it comes from accepting things. Sometimes it arrives when you look around and realize how much you already have. A roof over your head, the air you breathe, the warmth of the sun, the sound of the wind brushing the trees. These are treasures that cost nothing, yet they hold more worth than gold. Have you noticed how a simple moment can stay in your heart forever? A quiet morning when the world felt soft. A smile exchanged between strangers. The sound of a bird singing far away. These moments happen when you slow down long enough to notice. These moments happen when you open your heart to gratitude. The Zen Master reminds the listener that every breath can be an offering. Every step can be a prayer. Every thought can be a seed of peace. To heal ourselves, we must return to simplicity. We must remember that our body knows how to breathe, how to rest, how to feel. We must remember that our heart knows how to accept, how to love, how to forgive. People often ask, why am I still hurting? The Master replies, because you have forgotten how to be grateful for what you have. You have forgotten how to slow down. You have forgotten how to notice the miracle of this very moment. Look at a single flower. Its beauty is quiet, yet it shines as if the whole universe rests within its petals. Look at a drop of water. It can carry the reflection of the sun, the stars, the trees, and the mountains within itself. Each day, when you rise, you can bow inwardly to the gift of being alive. Each night, when you rest, you can whisper thanks for the moments that passed, no matter how ordinary they seemed. This practice of gratitude is like planting tiny seeds. Slowly, those seeds grow into strong roots within your heart. Those roots can support you when the winds of life try to knock you down. The Zen Master says, a person who knows how to be grateful for a simple cup of tea can drink that tea as if it is the best drink in the world. A person who knows how to be grateful for a quiet moment can make that moment a temple. A person who knows how to be grateful for a breath can make every breath a prayer. Try this for yourself. The next time you drink water, drink slowly. Let the water touch your tongue, your throat, and your heart. Let it be a reminder that life itself is a gift. The next time you walk, notice the earth supporting your feet. Let that step be an offering. Let that step say thank you to the ground, to your body, and to the air that surrounds you. When you eat a simple meal, notice its warmth. See the hands that worked to make it. See the sun and the rain that grew its ingredients. Let that moment sink deep within you until you understand that this one bite, this one moment can carry the whole world within it. As you live like this slowly, quietly, and with a grateful heart, the wounds within you will begin to heal. The noise in your mind will fade. The tension in your body will soften. The ache in your heart will find a resting place. Gratitude is a balm. Simplicity is a refuge. Together, they invite peace. The Zen Master reminds the listener that life will never be perfect. The world will never be completely quiet. But even in a noisy world, you can have a quiet heart. Even when life is hard, you can have soft thoughts. Even when the path is long, you can walk with grace, one step at a time. Each time you remember to say thank you for the simplest things, you are reminding yourself that you already have enough. You already are enough. You already belong to this world in a way that can never be taken from you. A heart that rests in gratitude is like a lamp that shines in the darkness. It can illuminate even the coldest nights. It can guide you when the path is unclear. It can warm those who walk beside you. The Zen Master closes this teaching with a gentle reminder. To heal is to return to the breath, to return to the earth, to return to the heart, to return to the simple truth that this moment, right now, is enough. You are enough. Life in its simplest form is enough. Walk forward with this knowing. Let fill the spaces within you that feel empty. Let wash away the old pains and regrets. Let it guide you toward a softer, quieter, and more grateful way of living. In this way, you will heal. Not because the world has changed, but because you have remembered who you truly are. A heart that knows gratitude is a heart that knows peace. Have you ever watched a leaf falling from a tree? Have you noticed how it sways in the wind, moves slowly down, and finally rests upon the earth? That leaf knows nothing of resistance. It doesn't try to stay attached to the branch forever. It simply lets go, and in that letting go, it finds its place. This is the way of nature. This is the way of life. Nothing in this world stays the same forever. The seasons change, the sun rises and sets, the water flows and finds its path. We too are like this. We walk upon this earth for a time, and then we leave. People come into our lives, and one day they move away. Moments of happiness arise, and moments of pain arise too. Accepting this truth is like accepting the wind upon your face. It may be warm or cold, strong or soft, but it is always moving. To accept impermanence is not to give up. It is to understand deeply that life itself is a dance of change. You have felt this in your own heart. Have you noticed how anger doesn't stay forever? It arrives like a storm and leaves when its time is done. Have you noticed how sadness doesn't stay forever? It arrives like a rainy morning and goes away like mist. Even moments of great happiness do not stay forever. They arise, they flourish, and then they too dissolve. The more you try to hold on to them, the more you hurt. Why? Because holding on to things that must change is like trying to hold water in your hand. It slips through your fingers, no matter how tight you try to grip. Accepting impermanence is like making friends with the flow of life. Imagine you are a guest in a beautiful garden. Each flower blooms for a while, shines in its beauty, and then fades. You can admire it while it is there, knowing it will one day fall. That knowing doesn't ruin the beauty. It deepens it. It teaches you to be present, to really be there, to really notice. It teaches you to love fully because you understand this moment is a gift. Then, when the flower falls, you don't cling to its petals. You bow to its beauty, you thank it, and you walk on. This is how you accept impermanence. This is how you find strength in its lesson. Impermanence is a teacher that whispers in silence. It reminds you that pain is a visitor, not a resident. It reminds you that even when you feel lost, the path will reveal itself. The night gives way to dawn, and the storm gives way to stillness. The heart that feels broken can also feel whole again. Trust this. Let this sink deep into your heart. Trust that nothing stays forever, and that is a mercy. Trust that every ending carries a seed of a new beginning. Trust that every goodbye contains the sound of a new hello. Trust that life itself is always reshaping itself, and you can reshape yourself too. Have you noticed how a river changes its shape as it moves? It can be narrow and fast, or wide and slow. It can tumble over stones or glide across sand. But no matter how it appears, it is always the river. We too are like this. We have moments when we race wildly, moments when we rest quietly, moments when we crash upon sharp edges. But the essence of who we are is like the river itself. It is always moving, always changing, always finding its way. To accept impermanence is to accept ourselves as we are, not as fixed, unchanging beings, but as living, breathing moments of nature. Look at the stars tonight, if you can. Each one shines, yet each one is burning through its own life. The stars, the trees, the mountains, the seas, and even we ourselves, we all arise, we all flourish, we all change, and one day, we all return where we came from. This is not a reason for fear, but for wonder, for reverence, for a deep, quiet gratitude that we have this moment to be, to breathe, to laugh, to love, to give, to witness. Accepting impermanence doesn't make life meaningless. It makes life precious. Each hug, each smile, each moment of warmth becomes a treasure. Each word we speak can carry kindness. Each breath can be a prayer. Each step can be a reminder that this path is a gift. Accepting impermanence gives strength to the heart. It allows you to rise when life feels too heavy. It allows you to walk forward knowing that no matter how dark the night, the morning will come. It allows you to rest when you are tired, knowing rest is part of life too. It allows you to shed tears when your heart is broken, knowing that even this ache will one day find its end. Impermanence teaches humility. It teaches compassion. It teaches that we are part of a larger dance, and that every moment is worth honoring. Remember, nothing you have is truly lost. It has simply changed its form. The warmth you felt from someone you loved lives on as a quiet ember within you. The moments you cherished still echo in the space between your heartbeats. The lessons learned from pain remain as threads of strength woven into your being. Trust that life knows its way and that you can walk with it. Trust that every ending is a chance to rest and then rise again. Trust that every goodbye can open a space for a new hello. To accept life's impermanence is to accept life itself. It is to walk upon this earth with a heart that is open, soft, strong, and brave. It is to live fully, knowing that each moment you have is a moment worth honoring. It is to love deeply, knowing that every heart you touch leaves a mark upon your own. It is to remember that nothing is wasted, nothing is lost, and nothing truly disappears. It all changes, it all transforms, and it all finds its place in the great dance of life. As you walk from this moment into the next, carry this knowing within you. Carry the understanding that to accept change is to accept strength. To accept endings is to accept beginnings. To accept loss is to accept the possibility of finding. To accept that nothing lasts forever is to accept that every moment can be cherished as it is. With this knowing, you can walk with grace. With this knowing, you can walk with peace. With this knowing, you can walk with strength. For this is the lesson that the Buddha shared long ago, and this is the lesson that whispers to you still. Accept life as it is, a flowing, changing, beautiful gift. Trust it, honor it, and walk upon its path with a heart that shines, creating new habits aligned with inner peace. My dear one, listen quietly. Have you ever felt that your old habits pull you down every day? Have you noticed how repeating the same things, thinking the same thoughts, doing the same things every morning and night can make you tired, restless, and unhappy? This is how habits work. Habits can be like a strong rope tied to a heavy stone, and we drag this stone everywhere we go. But habits can also be like a soft breeze that guides a boat towards a calm shore. The Buddha often spoke about the nature of habits. He called them sakharas, mental formations. They arise when we repeat thoughts and feelings over and over until they carve a deep path in the heart. If those habits are rooted in anger, greed, or doubt, life feels like a constant struggle. If those habits are rooted in kindness, clarity, and understanding, life becomes a path of peace. The important thing is this: no matter how deep the old path has been carved, we can make a new one. A new path can be made. A new habit can be born. But this takes patience, awareness, and a loving heart. Look at a simple example. Imagine you've been waking up every morning and checking your phone first. Then you spend 10 or 15 minutes scrolling. It doesn't seem like much, but those 10 or 15 minutes set the mood for the rest of the morning. Your mind is filled with noise, urgency, and comparing yourself to others. That tiny habit becomes a seed, and the seed grows into a tree of restlessness. What if you changed this one thing? What if you woke up and refused to touch the phone until you gave yourself 10 quiet minutes? What if you sat by a window, watched the morning light, and just breathed? What if you put your hand on your heart and promised, "Today I will walk slowly, speak gently, and listen deeply"? That tiny shift can plant a new seed, one that grows into a strong, beautiful tree of calm. This is how habits work. Each moment you practice a new habit, you give it strength. Each moment you repeat an old habit, you give that strength away. Which will you choose? The Buddha said the mind is like a garden. What you water every day grows stronger. If you water anger every day, anger will grow tall and strong. If you water kindness every day, kindness will flourish. If you water greed every day, greed will take over. If you water contentment every day, contentment will stand strong, rooted deep in the earth. To create new habits, you must first notice the old ones. Notice how your hands move, where your thoughts wander, how your breath feels when you are tired or worried. Notice how your body tenses when you hear certain words. Notice how quickly your voice can rise when you are afraid. Notice how quickly your heart can sink when you compare yourself to others. Awareness is the lamp that shines in the darkness. With awareness, you can ask a gentle question: what am I doing right now? What am I feeling? What am I choosing? With that question, a space opens, a space between old habits and a new way of acting. That space is the space of freedom. The Zen Masters say that every moment of noticing is a moment of awakening. It doesn't have to be big or special. It can be as simple as noticing the warmth of a cup of tea between your hands, as noticing the sound of leaves whispering in the wind, as noticing the beating of your heart and saying quietly, "Thank you." These moments are threads. Each thread is thin, but when you weave many threads together, you create a strong cloth. That cloth can wrap around your heart and protect it from the cold winds of the world. That cloth is made of new habits, habits of noticing, accepting, and responding with kindness. You can also make new habits by choosing how you speak. Words have great power. Words can sting like a sharp knife or comfort like a soft blanket. Notice the words you use every day. Notice the words you whisper to yourself when no one is listening. Are your words planting seeds of peace or seeds of pain? Each word you speak is an offering. Each word you whisper to yourself is a prayer. Each word can shape the person you will become tomorrow. The Buddha said that habits form character. Character shapes destiny. This is not some old saying buried in books. This is a truth that lives within you every moment. What you do every moment becomes what you are. What you are becomes the world you live in. But habits can be changed. Even the oldest habits can be reshaped with a patient and loving heart. Each morning is a chance to create a new habit. Each evening is a chance to reflect upon it. Each breath is an invitation to return to yourself, to remember who you really are. When you create new habits, you're making a gift, not for someone else, but for the person you will be tomorrow. Each small choice, to listen instead of shout, to walk instead of run, to breathe deeply instead of rushing blindly, becomes a seed of peace. Each seed will one day bear fruit. Each fruit will feed your heart and give strength to those around you. This is why the path of new habits is called the path of the heart. It is called the path of wisdom and compassion. Each step you take in this direction is a step closer to freedom. Each moment you walk this path, you walk hand in hand with the Buddha within you. Trust this. Trust that no matter how deep the old habits have dug their roots, new roots can be planted. Trust that no matter how strong the wind, a tiny flame can stay alive until it becomes a blazing lamp. Trust that no matter how long the night, morning will come. Trust that no matter how many times you stumble, you can stand up, smile gently, and walk again. The habits you create today are not just habits. They're whispers to the universe about the person you want to be. Each whisper is heard. Each whisper finds its way to the heart of the world. Each whisper can transform pain into strength, despair into hope, and silence into peace. So, dear one, walk slowly, breathe deeply. Notice where your thoughts rest and where your heart finds a home. Trust that each moment can be a fresh page. Trust that you can write a new chapter, one word, one breath, one step at a time. This is how you create habits aligned with inner peace. Not by force, not by haste, but by kindness, by patience, by knowing that you deserve this peace. Trust this path, for this path has been walked for thousands of years. Trust this heart, for this heart knows the way. Trust this breath, for this breath can carry you across any storm. Each moment is an invitation. Each choice is a seed. Each seed can grow into a forest of tranquility. Each forest can shelter countless beings. Each being can find rest, renewal, and belonging under its shade. Trust the new habits you cultivate. Trust that one day, when you look back, you will smile and whisper, "This is how I came home to myself." Have you ever wondered what it means to be truly free? Not free from work or responsibilities, but free from pain that lives deep within your heart. Not free from problems that come and go, but free from a voice in your mind that always reminds you of them. This is the freedom that comes when you understand that you can be your own healer. This is the path the Zen Master wishes to walk with you now. The Zen Master sits quietly under the morning sun. The wind stirs the leaves of an old tree. The sound of water flows somewhere in the distance. He looks at the world, and he sees that every person carries a burden. Yet every person also carries a light inside, a lamp that can guide their own steps. The Master knows this because he has walked this path too. He has felt the sting of wounds, the ache of rejection, the deep loneliness of being misunderstood. And yet, he has learned that these moments can teach a person how to rise. Not with anger, not with force, but with understanding and grace. He says, "My dear one, when you learn to be with yourself, when you learn to listen to your heart, you no longer wait for others to save you. You save yourself, not because you must, but because you can." The mind can be like a garden. It can grow flowers if you tend it with care, or it can grow thorns if you leave it wild. To heal is to tend that garden every morning and every evening, every moment when you remember to come back to yourself. He looks deeply at the listener and whispers, "Have you noticed how quickly we seek help from the outside world? We call friends when we are sad. We wait for someone to tell us that we are okay. We wait for a hand to hold. But what if you discover that the hand you have been seeking is your own? What if you learn that the voice you've been hoping for is already within you, whispering to you every night?" He closes his eyes for a moment and then goes on, "The Buddha spoke of the middle path, a path between clinging too hard and letting ourselves sink too deep. To walk this path means to accept both joy and pain, and to understand that both come and go like passing clouds. Healing is not about fighting the pain, nor is it about pretending it doesn't hurt. Healing is about knowing it, accepting it, and then allowing it to transform within your heart. This is the way you can walk through the darkest night and find the stars shining within." He takes a slow breath, then continues, "Each thought that rises in your mind is like a wave upon the ocean. You can watch it rise, and you can watch it fall. You can learn to smile at the waves because you understand that you're not the wave. You are the ocean itself, deep, quiet, strong. To heal yourself is to remember this truth. It is to remember that no matter how strong the wind may blow, the depth of the ocean always rests in silence." The Zen Master looks upon the listener with kindness and adds, "My dear one, when you learn to walk this path, You can also help others walk it, not by telling them what to do, but by showing them how it feels. Not by giving long lectures, but by sharing the silence of your presence. Not by forcing your ideas upon them, but by listening openly to the voice of their heart. In this way, you become like a lamp for others, a lamp that shines quietly in the night, reminding those who have lost their way that light still exists, that morning will come. He lets silence fill the space for a moment, then speaks slowly. The greatest gift you can give this world is a heart that knows peace. The best way to heal others is first to heal yourself, not by ignoring your pain, but by accepting it, holding it, and allowing it to dissolve in the warmth of your understanding. When you do this, you walk like a Zen master upon the earth. You carry no anger, no pride, no heavy memories. You walk with a smile, with open hands, and with a heart that embraces all. He looks down at the earth and then up at the listener, saying, "Remember this, my dear one. You have always had the strength you seek. You have always had the wisdom you long for. You have always been enough, just as you are. The world may try to tell you otherwise, but deep down you have always known. To heal yourself is to remember this knowing. To walk this path is to return to that quiet space within, where no one can hurt you, where no one can define you, where you can rest in the beauty of simply being." Then he adds softly, "Each morning when you rise, place your hand upon your heart and say, 'Today, I walk as a healer. Today, I walk with compassion for myself and for the world. Today, I remember that I am enough and that this moment is a chance for peace.'" As you do this each day, you will find that peace becomes a habit, that strength becomes a way of being, and that you become a beacon for others who have lost their path. He stands, brushing the dust from his robe, and looks upon the listener one last time. This is the end of our journey together, but it is the beginning of your own. The path of healing is long, winding, and beautiful. It is not about reaching a destination. It is about living each moment with an open heart. You have come far, my dear one. You have learned much. Now, walk forth as your own healer. Let this be your gift to the world. Let this be the seed you plant within yourself and within others. Then the Zen Master bows deeply, smiling, and disappears down the misty path. The listener is left with a quiet heart, a serene mind, and the deep knowing that the healer within has been there all along, waiting to be embraced.